Hey there, welcome to another episode of Football Everyday, coming to you live and direct from the studios here at Menara Star. My name is Nelson, as usual. Today, in the company of Brian Martin and Zack, Yusof. Good to see you, boys.
Hey.
Well, another wonderful weekend of football in the BPL, where we'll start with the 0-0 draw at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Spurs. After a brief resurgence, Brian, I mean, the Blues seem to have lost a bit of steam, right? I mean, you know, Spurs on their part avoided a fourth straight league defeat with that result, but would the Blues be disappointed, you think?
I think both teams will be disappointed. I thought it was a horrible game. Horrible Edward for the BPL. I mean, you look at it, two top teams fighting for the third place or the fourth place Champions League spot, and they produced that kind of football. Looks like none of the teams wanted to win.
Yeah, there was some shocking misses in front of goal as well. Like I saw Adebayo, Torres. It was just everyone was misfiring, really.
I mean, but Brian, so would a draw be a fair result, in your opinion?
I think the draw was a fair result. If you look at the league standings, I think the top three teams, Arsenal included, have moved away from the pack in that sense.
So,
but I think you know, to round that one off, I think Harry's got to be a happier manager. It's away from home.
it has to be, right? Right. Well, okay. Meanwhile, Liverpool were left to rue another low-key performance at Anfield as they surprisingly went down by 2-1 to Roberto Martinez's Wigan. I mean, look, 2 losses in a row. First to QPR, now to Wigan. I mean, look, no disrespect to those teams, but surely this isn't what Reds fans expect.
Yeah, it's trauma.
Your Carling Cup winners and FA Cup semi-finalists, right, Zack?
Yeah, and you know, I was just talking to a few Reds before filming, and you know, it appears that they've gone on holiday, you know, win the Carling Cup and the season's over, which is not the Liverpool way. I mean, barring the Merseyside derby, where of course we all know Gerrard 3-0, all that. They've had a horrible time, and if you watch that Wigan game, I mean, there was no spark. I think the midfield, you know, Jordan Henderson, that lad has got a lot of critics, and rightly so, because he had a shocker of a game. I don't think Kenny actually knows his strongest 11. It's worrying for Liverpool fans.
Liverpool deserve to lose, Brian?
Yeah, you know, and speaking of Kenny, I think he's run out of excuses. You know, after the defeat against QPR, his soundbite was, oh, we didn't see that coming. Did he see that coming against Wigan?
Yeah, and then recently, you know, you talk about Kenny's soundbites. The guy's getting stranger and stranger. You read the one where he says he's got to stop. Liverpool got to stop playing their fantastic football and actually start winning games. I'm like, well, if you're playing fantastic football,
you won't be losing
winning the game,
Wigan,
right?
And a cup and a sponsorship makes for a good season.
So, you know, Kenny's getting stranger by the minute.
Right. Okay, well, over at the Emirates, in-form Arsenal quite easily saw off Aston Villa by 3-0. I mean, the win takes the Gunners up to third, and but 3 points ahead of crosstown rivals Spurs. So, I mean, good win for them, Brian.
Good win for them, but you could see them coming. You know, Villa in the last couple of months, they have regressed. You know, you could see them coming. I think it was a very good, easy 3-pointer at home at the Emirates. I think the real test for Arsenal will be in a couple of weeks' time when City come a-calling. I think that's going to be a real test.
But good one for the Gunners is that, you know, Van Persie wasn't on the score sheet, right?
Still won,
the others took on the responsibility.
Right. Good on the Gunners. Well, in terms of the title race, Roberto Mancini's men could only muster a 1-1 draw against Stoke City at the Britannia. I mean, they did well to come back from conceding a superb first goal to Peter Crouch. But I mean, look, and you know, with Mancini's refusal to shake Tony Pulis's hand at the end and all that, surely this was 2 points dropped.
Squeaky bum time.
Squeaky bum time.
Yeah, he's cracking.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's got to be 2 points dropped, right?
It is 2 points dropped. But if you look at City, their last 2 matches, Chelsea at home when they scored a goal in the last 10 minutes, and against Stoke in the Britannia last 10 minutes again, you know, they have that resilience, you know, that fighting spirit. Of course, they've got a great bunch of players. Like Zack said, squeaky bum time. I don't. Maybe the mind games are starting to take its toll on Mancini.
I mean, you know, now it's like they've never been in this position where it's like the final stretch, right? Where you know, every defeat, the repercussions are so huge. It's pressure.
But I mean, I could ask you, Brian, quick one. I mean, certain quarters have said that if City fail to nail the title this season, you know, they should blame Carlos Tevez. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would.
There's some truth in there.
I would definitely have agreed. You know, I think it was cut your losses, get out of town, and then move on. But City haven't done that.
So
in fact, they had to eat their words and go back on their pledge never to play this renegade again. So
it is right. Well, okay, following that result, a solitary Wayne Rooney goal was enough to help United to a somewhat laboured win over Martignol's Fulham at Old Trafford. I mean, United didn't look their usual selves, right, Brian? I mean, but they've been in this particular situation more than more than one occasion, you know, now, and they ground out a win when it mattered, right?
you used the word somewhat laboured. I think that was really complimentary. It was laboured to the max. It was a horrible game. You know, if you're a United fan watching that game, multiple heart attacks, multiple palpitations.
Yeah, and you know, obviously there was a big shout for
the penalty, right?
At
What do
the
you
end,
think
you
of
know,
that, Zack?
Danny Murphy and that. But to be fair, you know, in real time, to me, I watched that. It looked like Carrick got the ball. You know, I mean, the referee hasn't got the benefit of slowing down
Yeah, but like
footage.
Fergie said, it could have gone either way. I mean, the referee could have easily blown for a penalty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean, they
Rio
have been
said
given, right?
if it happened at the United end, United would be screaming for a pen. Right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. All right. Well, at the Reebok Stadium, Bolton hauled themselves out of the drop zone with a much-needed 2-1 win over fellow strugglers Blackburn. I mean, winning for Fabrice Mwamba aside, Brian, this was a vital 3 points for Owen Coyle's men, right?
Yeah, if you told Owen Coyle, you've got the Cup quarter-final and then you've got this game against Blackburn, he would have taken the Blackburn game.
Right.
Because survival in the BPL is all that
It's
matters.
top priority, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, hold on to your thoughts as it is time for our quick break here on Football Everyday. We'll be right back with more chat and banter with Brian and Zack. So stay tuned. We'll see you real soon. Welcome back to Football Everyday here in the second and final segment of the show. Continuing with the football chat, speaking of Bolton, they were in action this morning in the FA Cup replay against Tottenham. Quick one, Brian, they went out by 3-1 and you were saying that Owen Coyle would be happy that they're out of Cup. I mean, survival's top priority and all that, right?
Yeah. Like I said, you know, I must have been a BPL hangover because they didn't really bring their A game at White Hart Lane. But having said that, vital win against Blackburn, fellow relegation candidates.
Yep.
And you could see that, you know, that the whole Mwamba thing seems to have given the club a lift, you know, at the right time.
Right. I mean, Zack, Spurs win, and I tell you what, Everton beat Sunderland as well. So it has set up an interesting and mouth-watering FA Cup semi-final. Because two derbies take place.
Yeah,
right? So
two derbies.
You're looking forward to that?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's kind of I'm one of those guys that doesn't like semi-finals played at Wembley, but you can't disagree with the quality of the matchup. You know, I mean, as far as Everton's concerned, last night was a superb performance. I mean, as an Everton fan, had all the hallmarks of what you want to see from your team: fighting spirit, craft, and guile, and good finishing. So.
Can I just say, I don't want to get misty-eyed, but you know, the two best FA Cup semi-finals back to back was
in a
way
long
back
while,
in
right?
in a long while, way back in 1990 when Crystal Palace beat Liverpool, followed by Oldham drawing with United 3-all, and then United subsequently won the replay. These two matches looks like, you know, could have fireworks.
Right.
Yeah.
So it'll be a great final, right?
The Oldham one was
regardless
the
of
Mark Hughes in the last
Exactly,
minute. That volley over his
Yep,
head.
yep.
I remember that one.
Right.
See,
probably
we're showing our
wasn't-
age.
Probably wasn't born then. But
Yes.
Okay, well, the league rolls on this weekend. We're at Villa Park. Chelsea lock horns with Aston Villa. The Blues are 8 points behind Arsenal in the race for third. So every game is a must-win now, Brian.
Yep. You're referring to the Blues, though?
Yeah, the Blues. I mean, even if it's 8 points, you've got to win every game, right?
Yeah, see, the thing is, you know, third place, 8 points behind Arsenal, but there's still a huge fourth place up for grabs. You know, it's going to mean a lot to Abramovich.
Yeah.
And Spurs doesn't
Spurs,
look solid, you know. I mean, they look like the customary tail off at the end of the season is going to happen again. So.
Right, so Chelsea should do Villa at home,
Chelsea
right?
should do Villa home,
Like
right?
you said, Villa are poor. Well, over at the Etihad, Manchester City welcome Martin O'Neill's Sunderland. I mean, look, having fallen 3 points behind United now, surely Sunderland at home is a must-win. I mean, to take them level at least with United before United are in action, right? Zack?
Every single game from now to the end is a must-win. Yeah, they have the permutations are very simple. Win, no draws, no defeats.
Right.
Just has to win, keep the pressure on United, and you know at the Etihad, City have been superb.
Yes.
Fortress
So
Etihad.
you can see them doing Sunderland then.
Yeah.
Definitely, and you know if you watch the cup game yesterday, Sunderland looked like a shambles of a side that was winning 6 in a row, and O'Neill first to
So they're a bit different now, right? I mean, they've kind of dropped the gear. And
Yeah, and if you look, you said 8 games, you know, United have the upper hand now, but if City win those 8 games, with the goal difference that they have, they will win the league.
Right, and one of those games is against United as we know, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, at Loftus Road, Arsene Wenger's in-form side face Queen's Park Rangers. I mean, look, when he first took over at the club, Mark Hughes was talking about taking Queen's Park Rangers into Europe, you know, and stuff like that. But they now find themselves occupying the third and final relegation spot. And it's not going to get any harder than Arsenal, right, Zack?
No, it's not going to get any harder than Arsenal. And you know, worst thing for QPR is that, you know, their big name striker Cisse, he's gone and done himself
games,
again.
right?
You know, what, 2 red cards in the first 5 games? Ridiculous. And they're in some serious trouble at the moment. The fans have been getting on Barton's
but
back.
they did beat Liverpool at home, so
they did
might
beat
they do
Liverpool at
Arsenal?
home. You know, QPR on their day are one of them teams, right, that can really turn on the chart. They beat Everton at Goodison. You can beat Liverpool, but you know, football is every week is a consistency thing, and they haven't got that.
The bad news for Hughesy is got Arsenal at home and United away back-to-back games.
That's right. Well, so looks ominous.
Yeah, one bright hope
QPR.
is that lad Mackie.
True. Right. Well, on Sunday, a mouth-watering clash takes place at the Sports Direct Arena where Newcastle do battle with a somewhat out-of-sorts Liverpool. I mean, looking at results so far, Brian, surely, as Zack said earlier on in the show, that Dalglish has given up hope of a European spot. You know, and I mean, he would concentrate on sealing a cup double, right?
Well, he's actually got a European spot.
The Champions League,
the Carling Cup.
Right.
Carling Cup win, so he's in the
So all the
Europa
more
League.
he might.
I think he's
take
given
a
up
foot
hope
off the gas,
of even reaching fifth spot. You know, Newcastle has 6, Liverpool has 7. Newcastle have a 3-point gap over Liverpool, and I firmly believe that gap is going to be extended to 6 points.
Right. Okay, so we'll see what happens in that one. Another exciting encounter happens at White Hart Lane where Spurs do battle with Swansea. They were comfortably in third not too long ago, right, Zack? But Spurs have dropped to fourth now. I mean, so all the England talk surrounding Harry Redknapp and all that, it could have been an unwelcome distraction for Spurs.
I think it has, you know.
At a crucial time, right?
Harry keeps saying no and the players say no, but the facts don't lie, right? You know, since all this England talk started, Spurs have not been as good as they were. Having said that, I mean, you look at their team on paper and you look at the way they played last night. I mean, this team
they should be able to beat anyone, including Swansea, right?
Yeah, but then again, the Swans, you know, I mean, barring their mishap against Everton at home, which was a strange
unusual.
result. Don't forget, this team tore apart Fulham, playing some of the best football I've seen this season.
So it should be interesting, right?
Yeah, two open teams, two
Brendan
passing
Rodgers'
teams.
team, an incredible team.
Right. Okay, well, and after everyone else has played, Man United go to Ewood Park to face Blackburn Rovers on Monday night. I mean, City might be level on points with United by then, Brian, but the Red Devils, you know, definitely cannot afford to lose, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a strange one, you know, Nelson. I think that the odd goal will win it. To all United fans expecting a huge victory, I would express caution.
Right.
Simply because early January, Blackburn came to Old Trafford and pulled off a shock 3-2 result.
And I mean, there's nothing more dangerous than a team fighting for survival.
Exactly.
I mean, Zack, as Brian said, having lost to Steve Kean's men at home earlier in the season, I mean, you think revenge will be in United's mind?
Well, obviously they want to right a few wrongs that happened at Old Trafford, but like Brian says, you know, none of these games are easy. I think United are now in grind them out mode, you know, do whatever you have to do. The fancy football can go out the window for the next 6 or 7 games, to be honest.
As long as they keep winning, right?
Just win.
Right. Thanks a lot for your thoughts. Before we bid you goodbye, as usual, do check out the contest that's running on football.thestar.com.my as you've got a chance to pick up loads of great prizes courtesy of Tiger FC, Adidas and SenQ. And if you want to drop us a line, send it to us at football.thestar.com.my. Guys, as usual, great show it's been. It's all the time we have. Till we see you next week, same time, same place. It's bye from us from Football Every Day.